It was a very good win, a very difficult one because we had to defend a lot, we had to suffer a lot. They had a lot of ball possession, but especially the second half, I liked the way we defended even more than the first half, because in the first half I constantly felt that they could score without them having big chances, but they were constantly on it.
You're on top and you concede the first goal, and then you have another spell on top and you concede another goal. Is it hard for the players to take that?
Of course it is. It happened many times. So the first goal could avoid the corner, but always we try to play. But I know which opponent we play. So second half they were 11 players in the box. So, and I didn't see many times Liverpool can do that, and it's because we have done really well, because they don't want to do that.
It feels a big win. Coming here is never easy. I don't think we've got a great record here since most of us have been here. So yeah, it's so important to win these games, and especially when people drop points round about you, then you have to capitalise on it.
Mo Salah, I think we're running out of things to say generally, aren't we?
Yeah, can't be bothered talking about him, to be honest. Look, he's been unbelievable, and yeah, look, he gets a goal, another assist, but I thought his work rate going back the way was unbelievable today, and he's on a different world just now, and he's playing out of his skin, and we're very happy to have him, that's for sure.
Inside, what are your feelings? Are you trying to keep some sort of excitement contained?
No, I'm mostly happy because you win at the Etihad, and that's not what happens a lot. Although it was my first time, but I think in general, not many teams win here, not many managers win here. A lot of challenges ahead of us, but it's a good position to be in.
So he said it's a good position to be in. The fans are chanting, "We're going to win the league, and now you're going to believe us." Do you believe them?
Absolutely, have done since about Christmas, I believe.
Is it done for you?
Yeah, it is. I don't see how Arsenal are going to close the gap without a striker. City are in a bit of disarray. Forest, who we're going to get onto, are falling away. It just seems like all the stars have aligned, and it's all there for Liverpool. This man knows a lot better than anyone and what it's like to see it through to win a Premier League title. But I just think there's no way that these are going to lose. They've lost one game all season, Chappers. How are they going to go and lose 4 and allow Arsenal to go and get over the line? I just can't see it.
It must be very... And you will have been in teams and squads that have had large leads as well. It would only be human nature to think, we've done it.
Yeah, look, that's where you're going to have to balance the squad. You need that excitement, you need that enthusiasm, you need the young players who haven't experienced it or thinking, we're pretty much done here. And then you also need Virgil van Dijk, you need Andy Robertson, you need Alisson saying, just relax, boys, a lot of work to be done, a lot of wins to be had. Got to chase it, we've got to work hard in training. Arne Slot's not going to let anything slide. If they're going to keep continuing to play this way through the season, he knows that they'll do it. But it's not easy to play at that level. But
the way they played today, it felt like they dominated every aspect.
100%. They felt so comfortable all over the pitch. Right through the way. This is at the Etihad. This is playing out against Manchester City. Trent's been backed into a corner here. He manages to wrap it into the midfield. Szoboszlai able to turn, use the whole Etihad pitch. Robertson charging into Diaz. Now look, he knows he's not got the numbers that he wants, and Liverpool know that they want to attack down that right-hand side. Can you get it into Salah, who's so threatening? And that's Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've tailed his run there, 80 yards of the pitch. Second clip, we're facing Salah. What do you want to do if you're Liverpool Football Club? You want to get Salah 1v1. Everyone knows it. Man City know it. Gvardiol knows it. Alexander-Arnold's able to get his head up, put it into the space, and get him into that position that he wants to be. Edge of that box, on his left foot. Is he going to shoot? No, he's got runners. He's got Jones and he's got Szoboszlai. And this is such a clinical finish through bodies to put Liverpool 2-0 up and in the position that they can now do what they want to do. They want to build that red wall in front of Manchester City. As Pep Guardiola alluded to, his team had plenty of possession. They were just looking, can they unpick this Liverpool defence? Robertson, great homework, said to Savinho, get yourself on that right foot, see what you can do, you're not going to do anything. And here we see the numbers that they've got back.
There's your red wall.
There's that red wall that we saw was so dominant throughout the game. Manchester City, they just kept, especially the first half, coming, and it just eventually fizzles out. And this sums it up for me at the end of the first half. Kevin De Bruyne, how many times have we seen him in this position for Manchester City? Look up at the Etihad. He's got options we didn't even know existed. But here he looks up and he just sees Phil Foden. And a speculative effort, and that's me being friendly from 30 yards left foot. That's how the first half ended, with City 2-0 down. They got a little bit deeper in the second half because they've got the lead. Every time there was a glimmer, every time they thought we got past one, it's like Liverpool had 2-3 extra players getting in the face of Manchester City players, forcing them back. Sharpness, even here, Mamouche, he's got that wall in front of him. He's still managed to throw one of the Liverpool defenders off, but it's going to take some finish to get through that from there. The absolute numbers that they have and the commitment they have, and this is why they're able to defend, because they know they're always going to get chances, and they slice through City here. And for all the possession and all the chances and all the, the territory that City had, with 3 or 4 passes, Liverpool created the best chance of the second half, getting out to their main man, Mo Salah. A job well done.
And actually, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we all know, we say it so often on this programme, possession isn't going to win you a match on its own. Mm-hmm. And despite having only 34% of possession, as Joe just highlighted, every time they got the ball, they were so smooth with it, weren't they?
Yeah, and this is why I don't like stats, because you've got to watch the game, you've got to see it to...
We got rid of it for you.
No problem, that's what we do. That's why you're so good at it. But when you look at the stats, you go, oh, Man City must have dominated the game. Yes, with the ball, they played a lot of nice stuff, but without the ball, Liverpool were comfortable. They were set there saying, no problem, we're going to go into it in a minute with Doku, but every time, they were so predictable, this Man City team. And then when you've got the quality that Liverpool have, you're so comfortable.
We'll do the Doku then, because... Yeah. We talk about tactics and systems and so on and so forth, but actually how you react in-game is where you're going to win or lose most of the time.
Yeah, and this is something that we noticed while watching the game. Obviously, Doku was clearly highlighted trying to get at Trent Alexander-Arnold. We know Trent's fantastic going forward, but defensively, questionable. And look, this is the first minute of the game. Just first time he gets at him, and then look, he's got Liverpool all over the place where they don't want to be. Big distances between the 2 centre-backs. Marmoush now can run into those spaces, and this is where Liverpool don't want Man City getting at, because it's last-ditch emergency defending. And tethers are going up and everyone's panicking. And again, look, it's highlighted now 1v1. Doku 19 times dribbling at attempts in a game, the most in Premier League game this season by any one individual. Liverpool now, this is where they start to make little adjustments in the game. Look, as that ball goes out, just keep your eye grabber back here. Just say to Konate, you stay inside, I'll go double up. Look, little point. Konate now doesn't have to go out where he was going to go. He stops, they go, give it to Trent. Now he's got 2 bodies. We know he's going to have to go around us. We know he's quick. But as he puts that ball in, Konate is able to be in that position. Otherwise, Phil Foden would have had a nice little tap in there at the near post. And as you can see, he starts to develop again. He does really well here, Doku. But I just want you to keep an eye on Van Dijk, and I spotted this in the game. This is a Sunday walk for Virgil van Dijk here. No, we're looking around, no one in the box. This is at the Etihad, by the way. And he's just walking. Well done, lads, don't worry, we're so comfortable. And every single time, they just put bodies in, and this is the little adjustment in the game. Trent's there now. He wants to play this inside Doku to Marmoush, get a 1-2 that we know Man City do all the time. So Bosley drops down and deals with that. Trent now only has one thing to worry about, that's the line. And when he does, they take Bosley off. Endo comes on, helps it. When he comes inside, no problem, just slow him up, because every time, as Joe alluded to, he's running into bodies. And Liverpool were excellent. City, a little bit too predictable.
And the other thing that you looked at as well was the difference in this game from last season to this season and how Liverpool approached it.
Yeah, and I think Liverpool's press was great, but I think when you look at the way that they play, this is last season, this is Rodri. I know everyone talks about Rodri, but I just want you to take a look at Phil Foden, Alvarez. Look, everyone's between the lines. This is completely different to what we saw today. But look at the tempo, look at the rhythm of the passing. Boom, boom. It's really quick. It's really, even when they go slow, it's still 2 touch, 1 touch. Now they're through. Now they've got Haaland running at the back line. You're not seeing Virgil van Dijk walking. But this is today. This is what leads to the goal. Rico Lewis runs out wide, doesn't get the ball. As he stops here, Pep's the closest person to Savinho. He's blocking him off there. But every single Liverpool player is there. The pressing lines are great, but there's nothing for Rico Lewis to do. So as he comes back now, he can't have his normal pass there because he's seeing a red man in front of him. He's got a red man coming up his backside, and now he's panicking. Can't get out. They get out the other side. And it's just, the pressing lines for Liverpool were fantastic. But for Man City, and it's not nice to say because they've been so great, but people are hiding next to people. And this is why Pep's standing there and he's pulling these kind of faces.
But the other thing that Troy mentioned there is teams are being braver against City. Not just Liverpool, seeing other teams this season. But you do have to be brave to go man for man, don't you?
They're so much braver now. And we've all heard about the talking about Manchester United previously. Manchester City had it to an extent, beaten in the tunnel. Conversations before the game, take a 2-0 here and we'll get ourselves up and we'll focus on next week. Not anymore. People are going there with the belief they can get their heads down. I think that's a great point by Troy in terms of the pressing lines. Manchester City players of old when they've been running the show and winning 4 Premier League titles. I've looked up and they've had 2 or 3 options. They've always had the safety to go back because they've got a goalkeeper who's confident enough to play. Now they can't even go back. Rico Lewis didn't even have an option to go back to Edison there. His head was scrambled and Liverpool looked so composed, took it off them and looked dangerous.
I saw many things that the club has a bright future with the players that we have. So, except Kevin, all the players are, and maybe Nathan, all the players are so young and they have a good dynamics. And what the club is going to decide in the next future, we have a bright future for this club in the next years. We know what we have to put in, and maybe future we have a bright future for this club in the next years. We know what we have to put in, and maybe the fans just simply look at the 2 goals we scored and like, wow, and they don't look at all the work rate we've done to get this result, because this result was more about defense than it was about attack. So that's why it's normal for fans, every fan base that from a team that's leading the league, they are positive, and it's up to us to understand why we are where we are, and these boys know really well, I think.
Well, no wonder there's a smile on his face. It's a brilliant weekend at the start of a brilliant Liverpool career in his first season, and it's going so well for them. And they won that comfortably, didn't they? Let's be honest.
I didn't see it coming. I expected a little bit more from Man City. I thought they, at home, would show a bit of pride, wouldn't want to get beat, whether it's Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever. I expected a little bit more fight. There was periods in the second half where Liverpool were just in total control of the game, and they never looked like getting back into the game. Man City, they were pretty dominant, Liverpool.
What do you think, Leon?
Yeah, I slightly disagree with, and I actually did see that coming. I know Manchester City are the champions, but they fell so far from the standards that they were at, and they are very much a team in transition. They're trying to bring signings in. They've lost a couple of players, important players. They're not at the level that we've seen them in the past, and that game, unfortunately, wasn't as big a contest as we've always seen it be in the past.
Maybe
Liverpool,
if Haaland had been available, we would have had a different attitude going into it as to what City might have done.
Yeah, maybe, but I think even with or without Haaland at the moment, I think Liverpool are the outstanding team, certainly in the Premier League, maybe across Europe. You know, there's not that many that challenge them at the moment. So I expected Liverpool to win the game. I thought it was far too comfortable. I did expect City to give a bit more of a challenge, but yeah, it was a very good weekend for Liverpool.
Do you think City looked a bit demoralised after what happened in the week at Madrid, where they were absolutely outplayed?
Not just that. I think they've been like this all season in terms of, well, not all season, but the last 3 or 4 months especially, they've looked fragile. Pep's interview afterwards where he's trying to praise his players and saying they played well. It's going to take a little bit of time for the new signings, and there'll be more in the summer. I'm pretty sure you might see a big exodus. Some of the star names might move on. And then you might see a younger brigade, people like Florian Wirtz, who's playing really well at Leverkusen, etc. I just think if you had a conversation with Pep and you sat down and you said, listen, you'll finish in the top 5 with the coefficient being strong and you finish in Champions League football, would you end the season today? Because he's gone under a lot of stress, his players are. It's not been the typical City team that we've seen over the years. I think you bite your hand off. And I think they need a reset, and they'll get that in the summer. But this season, they've looked a little bit doomed the last couple of weeks, months.
Very clever opening goal from Liverpool, wasn't it? Because there's something they clearly worked on.
Brilliant. It's one thing to be able to score open play goals and be as effective as Liverpool have been all season, but you've also got this clever nature, the ability to spot opportunities. I mean, the way they work this, Robertson blocks, force Szoboszlai to come round, to leave it in that space, and it's Mo Salah that gets on the end of it. Whether that was originally for Salah or even Curtis Jones, you see
how's he unmarked there, Leon?
Yeah, you see the space he had, but I don't understand how he's unmarked. But Liverpool's 3, they just run the defenders. And Man City's best headers of the ball are inside the 6-yard box. They're 3 or 4 yards from goals. So Liverpool defenders just run the rest, and you create space for somebody like that there.
Szoboszlai,
I mean, tactically it's outstanding from Liverpool.
Brilliant.
But when Pep sees that back again, of all the players you want to leave free, it's Mo Salah. It's incredible how he's just standing still. He doesn't have to have good movement. It's very clever from Liverpool. It could have been him or Curtis Jones on the edge of the box, but Pep will be fuming.
First quarter of the match, when you do something like that, is it easy to say, right, we're going to do it the first corner of the match? Otherwise, if the game goes on, you're thinking, hang on, which corner did we say we were going to do it from, on which side?
Mark,
You've got to do the first corner of the game.
I can remember one at Upton Park when Alan Pardew was the manager, and he come out with like the 5th corner from the right-hand side. We're going to do this. 20 minutes in, I couldn't remember how many corners we had.
Yeah, you said to Stevie Lomas, how many we had down there?
He went, I don't know.
Yeah. And then the second goal again, they've got so much time at the moment. They've got so much confidence, which means they've got so much time, and their decision-making is on point, isn't it? It's just perfect.
I actually thought tactically they did a job as well. They had Salah and Diaz either side. They had 2 false number 9s in Jones and Szoboszlai. And Manchester City didn't know who was running in behind. It was Salah this time. You've got, look, all 4 of those players inside City's penalty area. It's a lovely finish. Yes, it goes through the legs, but you just felt all afternoon that every time Liverpool went forward, they were capable of scoring a goal. I didn't get that feeling from Manchester City. And if you've got the outstanding goal scorer in the Premier League at the moment, it's no surprise.
So and creator, that's the key, isn't it? So at the moment, 25 goals and 16 assists at the moment. This is what we... if he carries on at this rate, this is where he will get to. Yeah.
Ballon d'Or
so
stuff.
Look down the bottom there. So the Premier League record at the moment in a 42-game season is Andy Cole and Alan Shearer at 47. He will beat that by 11 in 4 games fewer. I mean, he has had many brilliant seasons. This is his best. I think we can say that, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible to say that he's going to go and potentially beat Erling Haaland's goal tally, which we were saying is outstanding.
Unbeatable, we thought.
We think the assist tally, 20 in a season, Haaland and so
it's not like
De Bruyne
it's not like he's a greedy striker.
No, to do it, both of them in the one season, it's just
so his
ridiculous.
Goals and his assists are worth 34 points to Liverpool. Now they're a brilliant team and they're a well-rounded team, but quite clearly he's the main man.
Can you drop that into Richard Hughes and the hierarchy at Liverpool? Because what are they waiting for?
Maybe.
What are they waiting for?
Maybe they're not waiting for anything. Maybe Salah is making them wait. Maybe Van Dijk is making them wait. We don't know.
But he's with them numbers.
34 points says he is absolutely critical to this team.
It's outstanding, Mark, for a guy that I seen many a year ago at Fiorentina and Roma, who's hitting between 12 and 15, nowhere near these sort of numbers.
You would have never thought this, would you? Then?
No, I knew there was a player in there, but I wouldn't have never guessed there's a 20-goal-a-season man. Now he's been doing it for a lot of years consistently. Looks after himself, physically very fit.
Oh, yeah.
Whether he's being amazing or he's being really quiet and it's not his day, he still contributes. It's so valuable.
The question Liverpool have to ask themselves is, if they take him out of the team, will they still be able to somehow find the goals and the numbers? And I mean, he's dominating. He's involved in every attack, whether it be goals and assists. We're showing that they have a lot of quality.
You'd have to say no.
Exactly. You take him out. You take him out of that team, regardless of their quality players. Will they still be able to hit the heights? And the answer would seem to be no, in which case it's the same for Van Dijk at the opposite end.
Well, that's the thing. So look, if you are a Liverpool fan and you think that the worst comes to worst and that they will both leave at the end of the season, the chances are they're going to leave as champions. Have a look at this. No one's ever had a lead like this with 11 games to go and not won the title. Not won it. So you know the number of you both know the number of a bus company in Liverpool. I think they can ring it up and book it, don't you? For May the 26th.
Yeah. I think we'll look back at the end of the season when Liverpool are champions, and we'll look back at the results of this weekend and Liverpool getting the result at Man City, because it's still a great win for a Liverpool team that's not had loads of success in terms of wins over the years.
It's only one win there in a decade today.
And I know it's a Man City team. I know they're pumped and they're a bit demoralised, and I know Liverpool were dominant today, but we'll look back at the end of the season.
We still have to win the game.
Of course I do.
Liverpool could lose 4 games from this moment, and the rest of the league would have to be flawless.
Which is not going to happen.
And they would still potentially win the league, and that's just not going to happen.
Well, there's absolutely no evidence that anybody else is even...
The only thing that's going to happen... Jurgen Klopp will be on the same bus as Arnold Slot at the end of the season, because that'll be something.
Get him on the bus. Get him on the bus. Get them all on the bus.